We are now down to the final few days of the Big Brother season. Hopefully, nothing happens that gives them an excuse to make this season any longer than it needs to be. And the sooner we get to that finale on Wednesday, the better. Uh, Not a ton going on tonight. We had the veto ceremony slash eviction where Cody cast his lone vote to send Christmas to the jury house. And then we caught up with the jurors, and that was about it. Gameplay wise, we saw Christmas make a last ditch effort to try to convince Cody that she would take him to the final two. But in all honesty, it was just not a very heartfelt pitch, and if that was Christmas's strategy, it was just not going to work out for getting her to the final three. I really, thinking about it, I think her only chance of possibly convincing Cody that she would have taken him to the finale would be to have a big blow up of some sort with Enzo. Not with anybody else, just with Enzo, a big public spectacle, so that just plant that seed in Cody's head to make him think that there was no way Christmas was taking Enzo. But even then, I don't even know if that would have worked for her. But at least it would have been something better than, hey man, I'll take you to the final two. Deal? Yeah, I always think that is just such a poor strategy. Like you're way too late in the season to be striking a deal with somebody now. There's no reason for Cody to suddenly have more faith in Christmas than he does in Nicole. So I'm not surprised by his decision at all. Meanwhile, at the jury house, I did find it a little interesting, some of the conversation that was being had by the jurors. It seems like there are kind of two camps. One is like a pro Nicole camp, and one is a pro Cody camp. And that's very surprising to me because, Nicole has really done nothing this season. She got in the right alliance, and that's about it. She had the 1 week where she won the two competitions, sent Memphis home. Good for her. But that's it. The rest of the season, she's just kind of been there. That's it. She made the right friends before the game even started, and that is what's propelling her to this final three this season. So I'm a little surprised to hear the jury saying like good things about Nicole, that they'd potentially vote for her in the final two. Very surprising to me, because if you remember back to the season that Ian won, Dan Giesling played a phenomenal game and got to the final two beside Ian, and then I believe he got absolutely swept in the votes. And I was just sitting there thinking, what? Like, Dan clearly played the better game, but everyone was, one, not willing to vote a two-time winner, and then two, they were all butthurt that they got knocked out of the game because of what Dan did. And that's a very tragic end to a season for me, is if someone who is a very deserving of the title is sitting in that final two besides someone not as deserving, and that other person gets it just because the jury is being petty. I don't know if that's a situation we are going to land on this season, but if we ended up with a final two of Enzo and Nicole, I could kind of see that happening, and I would be pretty sad by that. Actually, honestly, with Enzo and Nicole, I don't even know who would win there. I would like to think that Cody and Nicole, Cody wins. Cody and Enzo, Cody wins. But the other two, I don't really know. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the course of the next week. All right, I'm going to wrap things up there for now. There is an episode tomorrow night. My guess is that it's going to be like a season-long recap episode where our final three sits at a table and says, oh, hey, do you remember this? And then they play clips of that, followed by the start of the first part of the HOH competition. Whether we see that to the end or not, I don't know. So may or may not have a recap for tomorrow's night's episode, depending on what goes on. You know, if it's a recap episode, I'm not going to do a recap of a recap, but that's all right. We'll definitely be back on a Monday and Wednesday for the finale. And yeah, I hope to see you then. So until then, we'll see you later. And thank you so much for watching.